Welcome everyone. I am Pease Delariz. I'm exceptionally loud in my headset, so I'm going to turn that down for a second. Welcome to everyone you are now watching and perhaps listening to Calling the Audible. For those of you watching, you see my co-host Simon Dagenet being bound. He lost this week in Table of Terror. As such, he had to choose his own demise, and for some reason he chose what I thought to be one of the harder challenges. No. He needs to do this show, the entire show, with his hands tied together. The Houdini challenge.
Kinky.
Very kinky.
The name was a lot better than.
Here's your iPad. I hope you can look stuff
Thank
up
you,
as we need it throughout the show. GM, don't help him when we need stuff looked up, because that's all the fun here. Of course, GM Kalethris is the producer of the show. You can be followed at GMCole44. If you want to follow Dagenet, you can follow him at Dagenet FPF. And of course, to our right is the technical director of the Eagle at Master Control. If you want to tweet the show live, you can always tweet it live at Eagle FPF. And I am Pease Delariz.
Speaking of, you had a tweet in discussion that you wanted to discuss, right?
Absolutely. Why don't you look that up? See what we were talking about on Twitter. You can feel free to bring it up anytime you like throughout the show.
I'll try until I get there.
That said, we want to. That's it. Again, my name is Pease Delariz. You can follow me at Pease FPF. We are brought to you, of course, by the Sportira.
I gave up already.
We're brought to you by Sportira, the official sponsor of FPF official jerseys. In a season, a season can turn around in a moment. Before you know it, it could be gone in 60 seconds, so to speak. So just leave your mark on this season, much like Nicolas Cage left tire marks all over the aforementioned film by visiting Sportira, the official supplier of FPF jerseys. Gentlemen, how was week 3 for you guys?
Well, right now, not so good. not so
Regretting having chosen
it was
now,
a lot better last week. I don't...
And Jim, how's your week?
Sticky Hands won it for me. I went 1-2 this week. 1 win, 2 losses.
Same here. It was tough. Oddly enough, Simon Dagenet was the guy who gave me that 1 win, but we'll get into some of these games later.
And this is how he repays you.
Well, technically, I chose my own demise, so I can't really
exactly.
So just like
you can have your hands
on the field, on and off the field, you choose your own demise. Basically,
I believe I made this suggestion as Table of Horror. I'm not sure, but I think that was my own decision.
It was a absolutely group effort. BD Bandits took on La Sauce in absolutely like a team win for BD Bandits. One of the biggest convos heading into the season, and we've talked about it basically in every podcast so far, but it's the last week we can, so let's mention it here again. Francois Raymond is expected back this week after missing the first couple of games of the season. Can La Sauce save their season? And what do you think the record will be when it's all said and done?
Well, we mentioned this last week, but you clearly don't remember. But anyhow,
it's like a week ago.
We mentioned that La Sauce are getting François Raymond back, but they're not like the kind of team that goes undefeated. So by the time La Sauce gets started, they're probably going to finish like above 500 for the last 7 games, but they're still 0-3 at the moment. So even if they go like 4-3 from here on out, they'll finish 4-6, which might not make the playoffs. So I think they dug a hole way too deep that they cannot dig themselves out of.
Simon, why don't you look up the La Sauce schedule and see when their next win will be?
But can we actually, for those, because I just actually got a tweet in, for those who don't actually understand what's going on and why his hands are tied behind his back.
Go ahead, GM.
Okay. For
Produce the show.
As the producer, I'm going to chime in a little bit. Essentially what's going on right now is we have what's called the Table of Terror. Mm-hmm. We randomly pick... Throughout FPF, we have a box that has every team's name in it.
From Division 1
to FPF Junior. Yeah.
As well as some special
punishments.
No, not punishments, but specialty cards like the Montreal Canadiens must win their next game. The Golden State Warriors will need to win their next game. Some are good, some are bad. Eagles fantasy hockey team, which he hasn't looked at in weeks, needs to win their next game. And it's instant double death. We have to choose 2 punishments. Lots of fun stuff.
Okay. So with that, if that team wins, you're safe for a week. If that team does not win, however, we have what is aptly named a Table of Terror, where you choose a punishment. On our last show, Olympus Has Spoken, Terry Tam, every 3 minutes, had to take a shot of mustard from this here. And he did.
And the Division 6 podcast, the Eagle at Master Control, had to eat a lemon per segment, and you're seeing the remnants. So I'm glad for those of you who were not up to date. I'm glad you can follow along with us.
And they're not even just food related. My favorite punishment by far is where you have to go to the coin toss of a Div 6 game and introduce yourself to the two captains as, well, I'm basically Flag Jesus.
Yeah, I like that
Awesome.
one. Another terrible one is sleep in PZ's garage. I recently bought a house. My garage is full of stuff. There's no room for anything. So good luck to whoever gets that
Well, you
punishment.
get to sleep on boxes, I guess.
No, it's random tables and plants, and it's a disaster. I think there's mice. It's terrible.
Awesome.
I mean, it's gonna be great. So yeah, that's the Table of Terror. For those of you who want to tune in, there's a separate segment on our YouTube channel where we actually film the random selection of teams. And the whole idea behind this is the league is getting so competitive that it's almost become random. We have no idea who's going to win each game. We have no idea what's going to happen. So let's just enjoy the chaos. So that said, with the chaos, what do you think Lesos' first win is going to be?
From their schedule, I would say they have a good chance of winning against OTF next week with François Raymond back and their whole core stepping in and like everything is going to bring up. But from their schedule coming up, they have OTF and then they have Game Changers, which are two very winnable games for them. And then I believe it gets a bit tougher as it goes on with Killer Instinct, Sea Assassins.
Mongoose might also be a game that they can squeeze
But
out.
A's, Mongoose, maybe even the Dans, they could win 5 of the next 7.
I can see them losing all those games, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it could go
None
both
of those
ways.
are gimmies.
But I'm saying they could possibly win 5 of the next 7 and finish at 500 and like recycle their season and make the playoffs, like squeak in a last seed, which they always do, by the way. But I don't know. I think they're gonna drop more than one game, just mishaps, people missing left and right. It's not a very reliable squad.
Do the BD Bandits have the most underrated core when you see Niall Anderson, Steve Sanner, Casey Cook, and Mark Belvedere? Or do you think they're missing a piece to be truly competitive?
I think that they're really underrated. We don't speak much about these guys. Like I speak a lot about Steve Sanner in lower divisions because he's really a stud.
He's
in
obviously got a
divisions.
bigger impact in
Yeah.
lower division, but he's still a stud, in my opinion, in Division 3.
In higher divisions, it's not the biggest roster. It's not the most feared roster, but it's still pretty good. They've won games in the past. It's a franchise everybody knows.
They've won
them.
games. Excellent analysis.
It's a
Also, I don't know. I know that we don't talk about other leagues the same way we talk about this league, but I don't know if it's fair to call one of the top CIS receivers at that time, Casey Cook, like.
Oh,
an
I understand, but that's
underrated
what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that any of these players are particularly underrated, but I feel like this core might be somewhat underrated because we don't talk about BD Bandits as being, let's say, very explosive or dangerous.
So
we just say like, oh, they're a good, solid defensive team, but
So
they have some really good players.
isn't that just to chalk it up to bad journalism?
Yeah, absolutely. And whoever was covering
we
this
never
division
said
for
we were
years.
good.
Or that this is journalism. He has his hands tied with a cable. There's nothing about this. If it's closer to kidnapping
I
than
mean,
it is
we're not the
journalism.
one
We have a
writing
host
Div
that has
3.
a yellow tongue right now.
Yeah.
We're not the one writing
Disgusting.
Div 3, so. It's all
Killer
fine.
Instinct beat Les Baudet 33-26.
Can we please stop changing subjects?
Oh no, not at all. I'm gonna ask you to look up so many things this show. Les Baudet put up 26. Can we see that Simon Top Gun Valet is better than we thought? And this is a question you asked me during the week, and I said let's save it for the podcast. And I want to hear your arguments for this
We
because
did?
I'm curious about what you're gonna say here. Go ahead, Simon
I don't
Top
remember
Gun
the
Valet.
question because obviously I was trying to do something here.
Simon Top Gun Valet, you said, you know what?
Well-
I think he's not as bad as we say he is.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that conversation. I was saying like they picked him on purpose to be the quarterback. So if you want to bash a team's quarterback that they picked, like, you decide to ride along with him. So like honestly, you pick your own poison. Live
Like,
up,
you know.
like yeah. So like live up to it. You know, if he decided to be the quarterback, then assume and play along with it. And if he's good at something, he's not Fred Dupuis obviously, but he has different talents. So use him differently. It's not a reason to lose. That's what I'm saying.
That said, he's 0-3, and you're the one who says that winning is a quarterback stat, not a team stat.
Well, obviously.
He's got 10 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. And the defense touched 10 passes this week between interceptions and PDs. And on top of that, I don't know if he has a front foot because he throws off his back foot every single time.
Says Pease.
Says Pete, absolutely. And look, I mean,
He would be the best person to judge that.
exactly, because I know it. I know my own, Simon.
That's fair.
Look, I like Simon. I think he's a good.
That's
great
like you
dude,
telling someone they have bad shoulder form.
but great grenader form. I think Simon kind of reached his peak as is in Division 4. That said, I'd like to see what he can do to develop and become a better Division III quarterback. I think play calling is going to have to be better because I don't think he's got the natural skill set.
Well, he has the roster to do it.
He does have the roster.
The Buddies won Div 3 last season with Fred Speed. They won, and they played really well. The defense is basically the same, and they had a stud defense. So I believe he has the team to win it. He just needs to step up.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Nate Taylor's put up 73 points in the last 2 weeks. Do we not give him enough credit as quarterback?
Wow. Define giving credit?
Well, I just like
his team is
coming
winning.
Coming to the season, I heard a lot of people saying, and I think it was mentioned
11
in James'
for
article
15.
as well, that they're going to be a strong roster, but we don't know how Nate will do.
Well,
and he's been good. In the past
okay. Well, the roster's really good. The team's good. 11 for 15. How much better can he get? He's doing the job. They're winning football games. It's all that matters. As long as you win, stats don't really matter.
They face Nuggets, Ujis, Lassos in the next 3 games. Do you think they're going on an undefeated run here?
Yeah.
Right, fair. Wolfpack beat Dirty Dogs 55-54. Is there an issue with the Wolfpack defense?
Yes. They don't have any.
Right, cool. Will it affect them?
No.
Just
to chime in from a historical point of view, Wolfpack have almost never had a defense. Like they've had great defensive players, Remy Paré, Alain Rousseau, but they've never been celebrated for their defense. They've really been an offense-based team, and that's how they make their money. And it only comes down to, first of all, historical stat, Wolfpack are the only team to lose 3 finals in 4 years.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So the Buffalo Bills of the 90s.
They are definitely the Buffalo Bills of the 90s. That being said, they've made it that far. They've made it to the finals. They've made it to the finals, and they've been that consistent. But it falls apart when they find a team that matches up against them, has defenders that match up against their receivers, and that's their undoing. That
historical fact, of course, was brought to you unofficially by Ancestry.ca. Learn your family history. They face Fun Boys, Brotherhood, Exist, and Darkmost Returns in 4 of the next 5 games. Will their defense step up, or will that be the albatross for this team against some teams with some very good quarterback play and some very good offense?
They don't need to.
All right.
If you put up 55 points on offense, your defense is irrelevant. That's all I have. 55 points.
That's fair. Dirty Dog started Sammy Feeder this week. He isn't as commonly known in the higher divisions. Does this show that he can play at a higher level, or is Double D so good that they can win with anyone at quarterback?
No, listen. If you would have thrown like 5 touchdowns, no picks, okay, he threw 8 touchdowns for like 3-something yards, a perfect QB rating, and still lost. Mm-hmm. There's a problem with that defense because him at quarterback is like the perfect piece to their puzzle. They shouldn't have lost when your quarterback's posting a perfect QB rating. Like it's a pure joke.
Absolutely, it's amazing. It's amazing that your mouth is able to say perfect QB rating and your arm is unable to throw it just the same
It doesn't matter.
And with irrelevant. That, we're going to go to break and we'll come back and see if Simo can finish the show without his hands turning blue.
La música de Harry Fry.
Welcome everyone. We are back without a countdown. So
we were not ready.
I apologize if I seem startled, but at least we both have our pants on. I am Pease Delarize, your host for Calling the Audible.
I don't have my pants.
You might not have your pants. I'm not looking. Simon Dagenet is my co-host. He has his hands tied for having lost in the Table of Terror. For those of you who don't know what that is, please tune in to our FPF channel where we have this week's version of it as well as the weekly explanation of what it is, because every podcast is someone's first podcast. We are also produced by GM Clethris, not in like a motherly fashion, but more in terms of how you produce podcasts.
Or a creepy Eastern teacher kind of way.
Yeah,
He just
like
sits in the background, looks at you creepy.
Like you're sure you wants to bang one of the students, and you're not sure if it's you. We have that's the look right there. We have Eagle at Master Control, of course. He is our technical director. So if anything goes wrong, it's all his fault.
Like the no
Can
countdown.
we describe his shirt being that open as
Nope.
something going wrong?
We're moving on because he's not on
Well,
camera.
he cut that look from you, GM. He thought it was that look where GM totally wants to bang me. Let me open up my shirt.
Well, Eagle doesn't have a shirt, but I don't have any pants.
Is that your reversible shirt? Because that shouldn't exist as a concept. So anyway, so speaking of a lot going wrong, a lot has gone wrong for these teams. We're looking at some of the winless teams, and I'm gonna list them, but then we'll go one by one, talk a little bit about each team, and then talk about who will turn their season around. The winless teams thus far are Bud A's, Lassos, Nuggets, West Park Boys, the Mercenaries, and Past Our Prime. Guys, Bud A's, what do you think it'll take? What do you think? What's their season been like so far?
Well, we mentioned them before, so we'll try not to talk
Yeah, not too much, but yeah.
But yeah, it comes down to the quarterback. The defense is good. Offense is good. It just comes down to the quarterback. If he can step up, this team's going to win football games. If he keeps...
Notice step up, meaning don't throw off your back foot.
Yeah, well,
See what
step
I
up.
did there?
Literally
Step up.
as you throw. Or just not throw interceptions.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I'm saying is, like, if he can manage to play better... Like, he has the potential to play better. If he manages to play better, they'll win football games. As long as he's inconsistent, they'll lose.
Lassos, get your quarterback back.
Once again, we mentioned him before.
Yeah.
Lassos, quarterback's coming back. I think it's going to be a huge momentum for them, and they're going to and it's going to show on the stat sheet.
That's their defense, which they've been known for through the divisions, has not been strong.
They were
this
missing their key player.
season. The key
in the
player,
free safety.
which is again, I guess.
And that's exactly it. When you 3 and out or 4 and out, and the ball gets punted or intercepted, as the case may be, your defense is on the field for so long.
Yeah, it makes it impossible, given that all the rules are set up to help the offense as well.
The way Lassos plays is also very around François Raymond and his ability to be all across the field. It's the way their defense is set up is to allow him to roam around a lot and be
Make
successful.
plays. Just go out and make plays, yeah.
Take him out, the defense is good, but it's not great.
That's fair.
It's the way it's set up.
The Nuggets.
Great athletes. I think Fred Manette's a bit out of depth. I think it's a big reach for him coming from Div D with Warhawks to move all the way up to Div 3. I think he wasn't expecting these kind of defenses, and it's a tough adjustment. They're gonna win football games because their style work, because they have the athlete to make it work. But I don't think these guys are gonna be able to pull through and finish and make the playoffs.
Honestly, when I see these receivers, you want to, like throw the ball downfield because you have so much talent. But at the same time, what I end up seeing is Millette sort of turning and twisting and trying to buy time and then chucking it up, and he's throwing from all these awkward platforms because he's out of position. I think, despite the temptation, what Millette's got to do is run a lot of quick rub plays and get rid of the ball quickly because he does have a good arm. So just get the ball, get rid of it.
Especially with the receivers he has.
Exactly.
Let them do the work for you.
Just like, for example, how Simon rides my coattails on the show. I mean, look, this is the perfect example. Do what Simon does.
Be awesome.
Yeah, by
wear
riding on the success of others.
Don't wear pants.
That's the key. Don't wear pants, especially not if they have pockets. West Park Boys.
I'll let that one go up to you there, West Park Boys, because I haven't seen them play this season yet, so I don't want to say random stuff.
Yes, everything stays random. Wesley Joseph, Amit Paul are two of the best athletes in the division.
Oh, absolutely.
That said, the quarterback play is rough. They played Dark Moose Returns, my team, in the first week, and they look like, oh my god, like that's such a rough game to start. But every game in Division 3 is exactly that.
Oh, we're playing them next week, so
And well, that's it.
can
Like,
expect the same thing from us.
or not. But no, but in all seriousness, like there's no gimme games in Div
Yeah.
3 except for when teams play against West Park Boys. And I was
See,
like, okay,
I disagree. Like, I don't take West Park Boys lightly, and I think that
that's just the thing you're saying because you're playing against them this week. It's not your actual belief.
it is.
All right.
You don't know my actual belief. Are you Jesus?
Yes, I'm Flag Jesus.
Jesus.
So no, it's
Hi, I'm Jesus.
Look,
Basically, Flag Jesus.
and you know what? It was a fun game. They were great guys, and even the.
Honestly, that matters more to me that playing good guys that are having fun
Of
rather
course,
than
of
playing
course.
teams like Moose. We're just dicks out
jerks.
there.
I know. That said, when we look at them, what I would say is essentially they need to solve the quarterback issue, and they're just snuck into the division when you look at their cap. So maybe they are just playing a little bit out of their depth. Mercenaries. I have a way they can win more games. Learn the cap rules.
Because the thing with Mercenary, we played them, we tied them, and then they actually won against the Dans, but they forfeited the game. But I think Mercenaries they're gonna win football games because the roster is incredible. When they played us, the guys they have on defense is totally absurd. The only thing is they never have the same guys.
So that's the Mercenaries issue forever.
That's a bit tough, but it's always been that way. So I'm not really concerned about it.
It fits with the name too, like Mercenaries. They come in, they do their thing, and they take off, and you never see them again.
It's gonna work out. They're gonna win games. They're gonna lose games. It's the kind of roster.
Okay, past their prime.
They're actually past their prime. O'Brien has not been playing so well. The team around him, I don't know. I think they lack a spark. I've scored kept some of the
lack
games.
speed overall. Like the division's gotten so fast.
They're playing well.
I think the loss of Brian Payne is also really hurting them.
That doesn't help. That doesn't help.
Like having your defensive mastermind, like this guy creates interceptions simply by putting defenders in the right position.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
With that, this is our time. I am interceding so that we can go to our picks to make sure that we don't go over and no picks get missed.
You should have done it while Simon was speaking because he's used to getting intercepted.
Ooh. Tough.
That in mind, first game, Dirty Dogs, grip and rip.
I'm going to go with Dirty Dogs. They've been impressing me last 2 weeks.
If Feeder is throwing for them, Dirty Dogs.
Even with Lelinowski, though, they look good. Anyway, Jim.
Les Udistes, Ballbusters.
Les Udistes. I think if Anderson plays, Les Udistes are going to win this. Although I do love Ballbusters, but
I don't remember what I chose in J Flow's article because this is one of the ones I debated on the most. I want to lean Ballbusters because I think that's what I said.
Game Changers, Mercenaries.
Game Changers for me. I like what Game Changers are putting out week in and week out. It's gonna happen.
I don't care about your opinion.
Triple Sixers, Laval's finest.
Because of Laval's finest, I have my hands tied. So screw you guys. I'm going with Triple Sixers.
I'm gonna go with Triple Sixers to win this game as well, but I think it's gonna be very close.
In a rematch of the Division 4 championship game a few years ago, Sea Assassins play the Predators.
I think Sea Assassins. I'm not crazy about the Predators roster overall. They don't have Maxime Giroux this week either. I'm gonna lean Sea Assassins because I don't think they'll put up enough points.
Les Buddies, Mongoose.
Someone's gonna pick on that one? Or?
I said same.
Oh, same. Okay. So what was that, Jim?
Les Buddies
Mongoose.
and Mongoose.
I'll lean to a Mongoose.
Same.
Jumpmans, 2.5 downs.
Jumpmans.
Jumpmans I think will be too much for 2.5 downs.
The Brotherhood and Meta Mayhem in perhaps the best game of the week.
Brotherhood.
Game of the week, absolutely. I think it'll be close, but Brotherhood will win the game.
Revenge from last season's opener. Dark Moose returns past our prime.
Moose.
Just
Just
make
pick
a pick
already.
Oh, I'm always gonna pick Moose. Moose by 50.
I don't care.
Killer Instinct, Nuggets.
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct as well.
BD Bandits, FOE.
FOE.
Tough one. I'm gonna say because I think I said in the article BD Bandits. But don't remember.
La Sauce, OTF.
La Sauce.
La Sauce win was Rainbow back.
Snatchers, West Park Boys.
Snatchers.
I'm gonna say Snatchers as well. West Park. They just you need a quarterback, guys.
And Wolfpack, Fun Boys.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Fun Boys.
That's the game of the week.
They impressed me so much. Liam Mahoney made a disgusting one-hand pick, diving backwards. I wasn't even upset.
But not only that.
And he ate the whole wheel of cheese.
It wasn't just that. It was the fact that he made that interception and just like casually tossed the ball back to the ref as if nothing had happened.
Yeah.
And then just went about.
Like that's a Tuesday for him.
It
was a Sunday, but you know, same difference.
I go with Fun Boys.
To me,
as
it
well.
was a Tuesday.
Final thoughts, gentlemen.
No one's gonna get my Street Fighter reference.
So, final thoughts. I challenge you this week to. Yeah, I can't really do it right now, but it doesn't matter. I'm up for Darius this week. So what we're gonna do? We pick one undefeated team. Whoever doesn't go undefeated the longest loses, and then we have to do
the first winless team to win a game.
No, the first undefeated team to lose a game.
Yeah.
The other way around.
Oh, first undefeated team to lose a game.
So
I didn't prepare for this at all then. Jim, can you bring up who's undefeated?
Off the top of my head, and I'm not even looking at my score sheet on my laptop right now, it is the Brotherhood.
Okay.
Ballbusters.
Okay.
FOE. And what is that last team? There's a fourth.
One per division. There's one per...
Yeah, I'm on it right now. Don't worry.
Anyways,
So FOE and Ballbusters playing. We're saying who will lose first?
yes, who will lose first? So
Wolfpack
it's
are the
really-
fourth team.
to decide who goes first, because we can't pick the same team, we're gonna do rock paper
This is
scissors.
interesting.
It's gonna be
because your
a race.
hands are tied
'Cause
together.
I don't have a coin to toss, so you're lost.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors.
How do you lose to a guy
How
like
do you-
that?
Okay,
so you can only do scissors.
So it will go. The choices will go.
Well, what's the fourth team?
I said it was Wolfpack.
Oh, I think Wolfpack has a tough schedule, so I'm not going with them. Although they're the favorite, I'll go with FOE.
Don't FOE and Ballbusters play each other?
Not this week.
Not this week.
Oh, not this week.
FOE's playing BD Bandits.
FOE's playing BD Bandits.
But this can last for a few weeks also.
So
don't
basically, right now you have FOE, Ballbusters, or the Brotherhood.
who are Ballbusters playing again?
Ballbusters are playing Laser Exist,
they're playing Lazy Exist, and next week they're playing.
and the Brotherhood are playing Meta Mayhem.
I'm gonna go ahead. You know what? I think I made a contradictory pick, but I missed a contradiction. So I'm gonna say Ballbusters are mine.
I would choose that too.
Yeah. So that's it. So any final thoughts other than? Oh yeah. And by the way, what we're wagering is an extra punishment from the Table of Terror.
Jesus.
So Simon might have to do 2 next week. GM, any final thoughts?
No, I'm very happy with this. Actually, this surprisingly went according to plan compared to all the other
We had a plan.
podcasts.
And considering the cast involved, it's pretty surprising.
We had a plan.
Eags, any final thoughts? Lemons suck. I'm going to go for 2 this week because I believe I have a bit of time because I'm not actually looking at the clock. We have 2 things I want to talk about. One thing is the Hall of Fame voting. The potential candidates for Hall of Fame have been listed. So watch during the bye week, the Super Bowl week. We will be announcing our Hall of Fame nominees. Our Hall of Fame winners. Jim Calethris is, in fact, one of the nominees as a media member. So best of luck to Jim Calethris as a member of our show. If he does make it, I will say it's because of us and because of calling the Audible.
Obviously.
Clearly. The other thing I wanted to bring up is money issues. So far, everyone should have paid for the season by now. If you haven't, please feel as bad as I'm making you feel right now. Aside from that,
Or thank your captain for fronting your cash for you.
that was the other thing is I'm I'm one of those captains. I'm sure guys who have captains this in this league, you know what it's like to put the money forward and then not get it back. All of us at this table have experienced that. Don't hang your friends out to dry. Don't be a jerk. Just go out, give the money.
Do not be peas.
It's not free. No, hey, mine's all paid
It's
for.
not free.
Mine's all paid for. FPF isn't free. It's the best league in the reason.
I mean,
best league-
don't be a jerk. Not.
Okay.
Not
Don't be. This league isn't free for a reason. It's the best flag league in the world. So respect it. Respect the deadlines. Everyone, thank you for everything. Thank you, Simon, for joining us and being a good sport and having your hands tied. GM, thank you for drawing from the Table of Terror despite seeing how terrible it is. Eagles, thank you for all the wonderful work you do. And Division 3, thank you for all the amazing action. But most of all, thank you all for letting me be myself.